Hi everyone, we are live here at Vaughan Sportsplex 2. I'm your host Dante De Thomasis, and tonight we'll be underneath the Toe Knows Everything podcast family. Will be known as the Soccer Report. Moving on, I'm here alongside my co-host Niko.
Hey Dante, thank you for having me on again. This is very exciting, the first episode of the Soccer Report. I want to give a quick shout out to all our sponsors, Popeyes Supplements in Vaughan, TFC on the road, which we just came back from the Montreal trip, and it was crazy. Guys, you don't want to miss it. If TFC on the road is having trips again, you want to be on that bus. And also 9-round kickboxing. You guys want to get some good workouts in, make sure you check them out. Now Dante, as everyone can see, we got some pretty dope guests on today, so why don't you take it away?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Right over to my right, we have starting right back for Toronto FC, Richie Laryea. We have starting left back of Forge FC, Kwame, Awuah. And of course, to complete the Sigma trio, we have Christian Samaniego. Gentlemen, how are you guys?
Good, man. Very good.
It's good. We're so happy to have you here.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming on. This is huge.
Thank you for inviting us, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, man. So our first question will go to Richie. Richie, just tell us the difference between, well, first off, we won't talk about Saturday.
No, we don't talk about Saturday. Richie didn't even play, man. We're not talking about Saturday.
We're on to Cincinnati, okay? We're on to Cincinnati. So basically, I just want to get your opinion on the difference between Orlando and Toronto, just in terms of lifestyle and training and family, things like that.
Yeah, of course. The biggest thing is the weather between the two places. That's the key. But
well, Toronto's better, right? Like,
yeah, Toronto for sure. Just two different clubs. Toronto's been around for a while, a lot longer than Orlando has. So you see that the front office, the guys upstairs are doing a good job. Obviously, the team's coming off MLS Cup final in 2016, then winning it in 2017. So the team's clearly doing the right thing. So I think it's a good club. It's a team that's going to stay good for years and years to come. So I just think it's probably one of the top ones in the MLS without a doubt. And then obviously you have Orlando City. That's a new club, but I think it's still an exciting project with a lot of good players there as well. So they just have some sorting to do, and I'm sure they'll be fine as well.
Well, Richie, too, I want to touch upon your time in Orlando a little bit because, I mean, as a kid from Canada, you grow up, you know, you watch soccer, all that, you play soccer. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but in your first MLS game, you subbed in for Kaká, right? Like, that's crazy. He's a Ballon d'Or winner. When did it switch in your head from the mentality of, okay, now these guys aren't just guys I watch anymore, these are my rivals, these are my teammates, these are guys I compete against on that daily. What's that mindset like now?
Obviously it changed. You go from college where it's a little bit more friendly but still has that competitive edge, but once you get to the pros you see that guys are a little bit more cutthroat in the things they do in terms of performances, training habits, the way they eat, stuff like that. So that's when you see all the guys around you are not rivals, but I would say you're competing with guys for spots. So obviously it's nice. It was amazing to be playing with Kaká for the 2 years that I got to, or the year and a half that I got to, but I think he's obviously a top player. He's a Ballon d'Or winner, like you said, so it's someone you can learn from and take things from.
Awesome. And for the most part, I mean, I always wanted to ask you this. How does it feel like playing in front of friends and family?
It's amazing. Obviously, I'm from here. All these guys are from here. They have similar, when you come back from college, you get to play in front of your parents, your whatever, girlfriend, friends. It's nice. Obviously, when we're away, it's a little bit lonelier because you don't really know anyone. No one's really blood. No one's really friends from the past. So it's definitely it's more homey. Like, it's just comfortable to be playing here, you know. So
I'm gonna switch over to Kwame. You know, you started in New York City, big team. Now you're in the first year of the CPL with Forge. And by the way, congratulations on the win on the weekend.
Thank you.
That third goal, oh my God,
I didn't
dude,
I
beautiful.
didn't draw it up, but
Hey, listen,
my guy Cadell.
it's not how you draw it up, it's if it goes in, and that went in, and oh
it.
my God, that goal was the thing of beauty. Everyone's talking about Aparicio's goal from 2 weeks ago. I don't care. I don't want to hear about that
Goal of the
anymore.
season.
Goal of the season is that third goal in that game.
Dancing, put on his dancing shoes. But
So what are some differences you can tell right away about MLS and CPL? Obviously, MLS has been around longer. This is the first year of the CPL, but Canadian soccer is starting to get on the right track.
Yeah.
What do you see in your first year of the CPL so far?
I definitely see that there's a lot of quality. there's a lot of quality players. Some of the guys that have played in MLS, some of the guys that have played at the highest level have come back home to play, obviously maybe to get more minutes or maybe for a new adventure. And I think that's important for Canada soccer, for guys to be playing more, for guys that are Canadian to be playing in Canada, just like how Americans in MLS get a lot of leeway in the MLS because they're American. But essentially, I think everybody at first was like, was questioning the quality, trying to see like, is it going to be competitive, or is there going to be like one or two teams that is just going to dominate the whole league? But like, as you can see, we don't have a lot of teams, but you play against the same teams like 3-4 times, and the fact that you're able to consistently beat the same team and you have to change your game plan all the time, it shows a lot from the players and the quality of the coaching staff as well. So, I mean, for the first year they're doing well. There's a lot of exposure, and I think once there's more money pumped into it, it's only going to get better. It's only 1 year in, and it's doing pretty well. They're able to pay guys decent salaries, some guys decent salaries, so it's only going to go up from here.
Well, yeah, like you said, it is 1 year in, and I want to touch upon too, because you're in Hamilton, right? The fan base in Hamilton, they're passionate. Like we were talking before, like they're yellow and black at every game, even though you guys are orange, because they picked the color scheme before the jerseys were even announced, right? What's it like playing in front of those fans, and how passionate are they if people can't see it on TV?
I mean, it's crazy because like you have TFC that's like 45 minutes to an hour away, but there's a lot of people that are from Hamilton that really represent Hamilton. They don't really care about Toronto. Like they strictly Hamilton Tiger Cats, Hamilton, the Badgers.
They don't like Toronto. They don't like Toronto. They don't affiliate
themselves. They don't affiliate
at all.
themselves with Toronto. Like they don't say they're part of the GTA. Or like Hamilton's a separate entity from Toronto. So I mean, just that in general, they have their own soccer team. There's a lot of youth soccer teams out there, and they're able to come to all the games and cheer us on. And the passion's there. Like the first game, there was like 20,000 people, and you see it from the start. And it's only going to get better, and as long as we keep winning, the fans are going to keep, and we score goals like we did this weekend, the fans are going to keep coming.
Yeah, for sure. That goal's going to be all over the place every week, I'm telling you.
And I think things like that, like it just shows the quality of the league and the quality of Canadian players.
Yep. Okay, Kwame, moving on to Christian. Christian, basically, we've grown up together. We've watched, these two gentlemen here absolutely kill it. What's it like playing with these guys?
Well, I played with them for the majority of my life, about, say, like 10 years or so, since we were about 12 until we all went off to college. Playing with them, it just made the game for me, when I was playing, a lot easier. Playing with...
He's lying, yo. It's opposite way around, yo. Playing with him made the game a lot easier for me and Rich.
So playing with them, it just pushed me and my other teammates at whichever team that we were a part of to get better. We always wanted to match their level, and these two guys are really good at small details that a lot of kids now or a lot of players don't really take into consideration. So, and they're very, very easy, outgoing guys. So even off the field, it's very comfortable to be around them, and I'm sure you know that too. Yep. So it made everything just a lot.
Yeah, for everyone that doesn't know, Dante played with all these guys as well. The host of the Soccer Report, he played with these guys too, so he knows what he's talking about. Me, not so much. I played House League. But no, so guys, what we want to talk about too is 2026 World Cup is coming up. Now, Canada, it's looking like they're going to get their own in because we're hosting it, right? So that's big. That's why the CPL coming up is huge. But what I kind of want to talk about right now is the next World Cup. 2022. I don't know if you guys have heard or if anyone else has heard the new rules on qualifying with the Hex. You don't qualify anymore to get in the Hex. It's just the top 6 ranked in the world get in, which I think is terrible because you got El Salvador, you got Panama and Honduras ranked ahead of Canada, and I think Canada wipes the floor with them every day. And also John Herdman, if you're watching, Richie Laryea, he's in the team. We beat Haiti, all right? Like, it's no question. It's no question. But what I'm saying is, like, we deserve to be in that Hex. I think we are top 3, top 4 in CONCACAF Canada right now. What are your guys' opinion on the new qualifying? I know there's still a chance for teams that are ranked 7 to 35th in CONCACAF to get in there, but it's a lot harder than being in the top 6. What do you guys think about that? Anyone can field that question.
Honestly, I just read up on that. The whole scheme of like the 7 to 35 rank is really difficult for guys to get into the Hex. Like, it's almost nearly impossible. There's a lot of games to play, and meanwhile, guys are at their clubs playing. You're gonna be playing multiple games with your country and multiple games with your club. It's like it's climbing an uphill battle. It's like an uphill battle. So, I mean, Canada, in my opinion, top 3 team in CONCACAF, but honestly, I think there's a lot could change from now to 2022. You know what I mean? So you never know. Some of these rules could change. Some of the personnel could shift around as well. And honestly, if we want our bid into the Hex, like, we just got to do better. That's just about it. We got every team that we play, we got to win. So now we have games coming up in the CONCACAF Nations League against the U.S. and teams like those are the teams that we have to try to beat in order to show people that we deserve big games to be in the Hex. So those are big games, like starting in September or October, something like that. So,
well, Kwame, you've played when it was back with Octavio Zambrano. He brought you up to the squad a little bit and everything like that. What was that like with Zambrano, as opposed to, because now Herdman's taken over? He kind of not bullied his way into the job, but he got in there. But with Zambrano's there, I liked what I was seeing. What was the kind of feel in a Canada soccer camp?
I mean, at camp, it was like Canada has always been a defensive team. We've always sit back and let teams attack us. He changed the whole. He brought all the guys that were willing to take a risk, play an attractive brand of soccer, attacking football. And I got called in because I went to the U23s in Qatar, and he liked me there. Like, I wasn't really playing at New York, but he knew what I could do because of what I did at the U23s. So then I had the opportunity, thanks to him, to get called up twice. But yeah, I mean, he was like, we're changing our dynamic. We're going straight attacking. We're leaving 3 guys back, 7 guys attack, and let's see what we can do. And that year that he was there, or 7 months, we lost 1 game. So
I'm a big proponent.
It was clearly working.
I'm a big proponent of Zambrano. Like, I thought he got a terrible take from the team there because Herdman coached the women's team. He said he's leaving if he doesn't get the men's team. I wish we could have seen what would have happened with Octavio Zambrano more, because, I mean, like, what we saw a much better looking soccer game when you saw Canada out there with Octavio. But, you know, Canada soccer's now getting big. Like, we got on TFC, we got some big Canadians. We got Richie, we got Osorio, like, we got some big name Canadians coming through. So hopefully in the next few years or so, Canada's team, especially with the CPL, if the CPL can grow some of that talent into the national team, I think we're going to be looking pretty good on 2022, and I'm hoping to see some of you guys on that squad.
I mean, I hope so. I think we got to take it step by step. I mean, we got to get called to, like, the first camps, you know what I mean?
True.
Try to make our
take
name
it
for
day
us.
by day.
Take it day by day.
That's the right attitude to have. I like that. I like that.
But hopefully by 2022 we can make the World Cup.
Okay, so now we're going to actually take a phone call from the original host of the Soccer Report. His name's Tony. So we're gonna take that phone call now. All right, now we got a question coming from us from the host of the Soccer Report who can't make it today. He'll be back on the next podcast, Toe. And you know one thing, it's that Toe knows everything. So Toe, go ahead with your question for the boys here.
Niko, boys, how are you guys tonight?
Good, and yourself?
How are you?
Awesome. I'm super excited, guys, because this is a brand new show, the Soccer Report. And we're going to be bringing you everything soccer, especially for Canadian soccer friends. We're going to be talking CPL, MLS, Canadian national team, a little bit of everything. So I'm really excited about it. Yeah, so guys, you know, there's a bunch of stuff I'd love to talk about. Maybe we can start with the derby between Montreal and Montreal Impact and Toronto FC 2 weeks back in Montreal. First and foremost, I want to talk about the atmosphere and how amazing the TFC supporters were there in Stadio Saputo. It was just incredible to be part of that mass of TFC fans. I don't know about you guys, but the vibe was spectacular. Even though it rained and downpoured, you could sense the excitement on the part of the TFC fans, and it was really something special. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, I would agree. Just being there, I think the Montreal fans and the stadium is a good structure. It has a real European feel to it. So I thought it was a good atmosphere, and those guys truly hate us, just like we hate them as well. So it was perfect. It was a hostile environment. You could see everyone was ready for the game, on our team at least, up for the fight. So it turned into a good game. It was a dogfight at times, and we showed that we were able to do that as well and take the pressure off by guys making big plays. And then you see Pozzuolo comes up big with a very, very good finish, and then Josie tops it off with an incredible free kick. So I think for me, it was one of the funnest. It was the best game I've played in an MLS for sure, just because it was a derby. I told a bunch of these guys that it felt like a European game, you know, so it wasn't an ordinary.
It had that feel. It had that European feel. It had that, you know, in Italian Serie A, we call it Curva Nord or Curva Sud, and you have your supporter sections, and it felt exactly like that. You're 100% right. And also, I got to tell you, it was a fantastic technical game by TFC. I think you guys, it was the first game back for a bunch of guys, right? I think it was Bradley's first game back and Altidor's first game back, and you know, we saw Gonzalo, and that was a real eye opener for us to see the power of obviously some of these players coming back from their U.S. men's duty in the Gold Cup, but overall an amazing performance by TFC, and you know, an away performance in a hostile environment, which, you know, you got to give you guys credit for, because it's not easy playing in that kind of environment, but you guys really thrived, and you can see that Josie thrives in that kind of adverse type environment. And I think the whole team really rose to the occasion, so I definitely agree with you. What was the highlight, aside from the atmosphere in Montreal? What would you say the highlight of the game was? Because there were a bunch of them for me, but what would you say your best or your highlight of the match was?
I would say in terms of team, it was a very good team performance, so I think that was a big highlight for us. And then I think the first one I should have said off the bat was the fans, like you said. The TFC fans were incredible. You could hear them from minute 1 till 90 plus, so I think they were really, really big, especially when the rain started pouring down. They didn't care. A bunch of the Montreal fans left and they stayed. They kept singing, so that was big for us. So, and then personal, I would say just that we got the 3 points. Nothing else mattered on the day, so I was just happy to come out of there with all 3 points, and then also a clean sheet against Montreal. So it felt really good.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think, you know, if you really summed it up, I think it was a great performance by the team overall. Fantastic fan support on the road. So overall, just an amazing time for soccer fans and TFC fans. Let me ask you a quick question about something that I just saw. It was reported in LA. You saw that Zlatan Ibrahimović scored the hat trick there against LAFC, and he made a comment. He said that you know, he's a Ferrari playing amongst Fiats, and it's a pretty it's a shot, obviously, at the rest of the league. What do you think about comments like that, and how it affects the psyche of other players in the league, not only on LAFC, but on the rest of the league in general, when a player like that, a marquee player, makes a comment like that and throws a shot at everyone? What do you think about that?
For me, it doesn't bother me too much because I don't read too much into it, but I know for other players it may be some trouble. I think he also just does it for a marketing standpoint as well, to stay very relevant. Obviously, he's an incredible player. He's a beast, but yeah, comments like that, I'm sure the guys upstairs in MLS and a lot of the other teams don't like, and I mean, maybe even his own teammates, you know. So it's for me, yeah, probably a little bit disrespectful. It doesn't bother me. He can say whatever he wants, but yeah, I don't know. I personally wouldn't make comments like that regarding a league that I'm playing in, and then also having teammates in it. But everyone knows Zlatan, and he's been like this since his Malmo days, so it's not like he's acting like brand new or this is coming out of nowhere. So we know he's due for a comment like this. So
well, everyone knows Zlatan too, right? He's just jealous he's not Ronaldo.
He did make a couple of interesting points. One of the points he made was that you know, he was throwing some shots at Carlos Vela, and he was saying that, you know, at his age he was playing in Europe in some of the best European teams. But he said the problem with the MLS is that there's no relegation, and that we have playoffs, and the playoffs really reward everyone, even teams like potentially a TFC who's been you know, not doing the greatest in the standings, but has the potential of, you know, making the playoffs and then maybe going all the way. And he's saying that that's a definite negative for soccer, and that we should follow a European system where there's relegation. What are your thoughts on that?
I think I'm on both sides, because I see where in the MLS where it comes from, because you see Seattle 2 years in a row. What are they, like almost dead last in the West, and then they come up 2016, make a run in the summer, and then they're MLS champs, and they do the exact same thing in 2017. So I don't know. I just feel like it's also kind of rewarding for teams that maybe don't have the greatest starts, but then they pull through in the end. They get the last seed, and then you look, and these are the teams that go all the way. Not all the time, but sometimes. But then also, I do get the sense where maybe people want relegation just because, as I know, when I was with Orlando, once the games start dwindling down and you know you're not making playoffs, maybe you switch the lineup, and this is an advantage for teams that are trying to gain points over other teams. So then maybe it gives a little bit more to fight for. Maybe you don't throw on guys just to throw them on. Instead, you keep your strongest 11 all year round. So like in Europe, you don't get relegated. So I don't know. Obviously, that's not for me to decide, but I think I see the pros and cons of both sides of it.
Right, and we've seen the performance of Montreal and York 9 in they're doing their Canada Cup games, and you know, the great performance by York 9 against an MLS team, Montreal Impact, pulled it off at the end, and now it's a home and away. But at the end of the day, I think the quality of soccer is improving overall in North America, and I think, you know, the CPL is going to add another level or another dimension or another layer of quality that we haven't seen in the past. So I think, yeah, like you said, there's pros and cons for sure. Richie, let me ask you one last question. You saw Canada in the Gold Cup. Obviously, we lost to Haiti. You know, Haiti came back, ended up winning the game. I believe it was 3-2. What are your thoughts on that massive defeat for a country like Canada, where we're really invested in grassroots soccer, and we thought that this could be a turning point for us, and we end up losing to Haiti, an island country, and it's not a knock on them, but they don't have the resources that Canada has. What do you think about that defeat? Is that a big blow to Canadian soccer?
I think first off, we have to look at the positives. I think we saw a very talented Canadian team get put out there. You see the strength and numbers that they have with Jonathan David, Kyle Larin, Alfonso, Osorio, Cavallini. You have a bunch of guys, Hoyland. I can go on and on. So they had a very, I think for me, maybe the strongest Canada team in a while. So I think they showed early on how good they were, and I think all of us are very impressed with that. And I saw the names that were going, and I thought, okay, this is going to be a good tournament for us. So I thought overall it was a good tournament for the team. Then obviously in that Haiti game, we go up 2-0 at half, right? So even then, a good game that we were playing, and then, you know, just little moments. It's football. One mistake turns into a goal, two mistakes turn into another one, and then you start doubting yourself, and then the third goes in, and it's like, okay, now we're down, right? So I think first off, Canadian fans should be pretty pleased with the performance put forward by the team in the previous games, even in the first half of that Haiti game, and it's something to definitely build on, because for one, I think I was very excited to watch this team, and they proved me right in being excited to watch them, because it was definitely a different brand of football from Canada. It was fun, a lot of young guys on the field, and I thought it was good.
Awesome, I agree. Yeah, definitely, we got a bright future, I think, with a lot of young, bright stars, soccer stars here in Canada, so we look forward to more games from them. Well, listen, Richie, I want to tell you a big shout-out to you, because you're a Dante Alighieri alumni, and Toronto Catholic District School Board. You're representing the soccer teams here in Toronto, and you made a big impact on TFC, so I want to give kudos for you. Just a couple of weeks back, you set up that penalty kick for Pozuelo. It was because of you that we got that PK, so you've made a definite impact on this team and on soccer on this city, so I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for joining us here on the Soccer Report. So thank you, and I wish you the best of luck in the future.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it very much.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Tope.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, so thank you, Tony. You'll catch him on the next podcast of the Soccer Report. He's missing this week. He'll be back in the hosting chair following. Guys, I just want to thank you all so much for coming on. It means so much. 2022, I'm telling you, they have the right mindset. They're going to be on there. Herdman, you better be calling them up, man. Don't maybe come down to your office and let you know what's going on. But I want to give another thank you to our sponsors, Popeye Supplements Vaughan. All your supplement needs, you can get them down there. They got great service. They'll help you out. TFC on the road, 9-round kickboxing. Guys, if you need anything, you let us know. Leave comments, like, share, subscribe to the channel. And we're going to give you all the information you need. And that's it for me, Dante, if you want to take over from here.
That's it for me as well. Thank you guys for coming. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've had a blast asking you guys questions, and I wish you nothing but health, success, and happiness in the future. Thank you as well to our producer, Luca, and cheers for now.